Califf. We'll now begin a 5-minute round. Dr. Califf, around the country and in Congress, there's lots of talk about the high cost of pharmaceutical drugs. Do you believe it's, in terms of drugs, that it's accurate to say that the FDA's statutory mission is to promptly and efficiently make sure that drugs are safe and effective?
As you know, Senator Alexander, that is our primary mission, but we also can have an impact on the cost of drugs by performing that function effectively.
Well, let me talk about that just a little bit. Do you agree that it's not your job to set the price of drugs?
It is not our job to set the price of drugs.
But let's talk about generic treatments. If generic treatments can move more rapidly through the FDA process in a safe and effective way, that would be one way to create more competition and presumably lower the cost of drugs. Despite getting about $1 billion in new funds over the last 3 years, generic manufacturers estimate that the FDA's median approval time for generic drugs has gone from 30 months in 2011 to 48 months in 2014. Is that accurate, or based on your knowledge, or can you explain how the FDA, with availability of $1 billion new dollars, could have actually presided over a situation where the approval of generic drugs has gone from 30 months in 2011 to 48 months in 2014, especially since a more rapid approval, if safe and effective, might have had some effect of lowering drug prices?
Well, Senator Alexander, bear with me. I appreciate the question. Bear with me for just a second while I explain this. First of all, as you point out, 88% of American prescriptions now are generic, so we have made tremendous progress, but we can do even better. You also know that we're well ahead of the Generic Drug User Fee Act goals that were set, but we can still do better, and I'm all in favor of that. But explaining the backlog is really important, and here's the way to think about it. We started with a huge backlog, thousands of applications that were waiting until the user fees came in. The easy ones, the ones that were good, were well written, went through quickly. The new ones, the ones that are pertinent to getting the first generic on the market, are put in what we call a fast lane, and they're going through quickly. But we have this backlog of applications that are requiring back and forth because we want generic drugs to be just as safe and effective as the innovator drugs. And when the applications are not complete or there are questions about manufacturing, those get held up. And so I'm confident you'll see over the next several years, as that backlog is cleared, the new applications are going through very quickly.
Thank you, Dr. Califf. This question will require just a short answer. Will you take a look, if you're confirmed, at the FDA's policy of issuing non-guidance documents instead of rulemaking? I've talked with Sean Donovan, the director of the budget, and the administration, OMB, has some pretty strong policies and firm views on the difference between rulemaking, which involves consultation and is legally binding, and guidances, which are not legally binding. Will you take a look at that? Because there is a bipartisan concern that agencies of the federal government, including FDA, are issuing guidances as if they were legally binding.
Senator, I will commit to working with you on that and taking a careful look at it.
I'd like, for my remaining time, to ask you to comment on a management issue at FDA. We hear that even when products are similar, experiences of applicants varies quite a bit. Regulated parties ought to be treated in consistent and predictable ways. Why do you think that even with similar products, the experience of some applicants is so different, and what could you do to make sure that regulated parties are treated in consistent and predictable ways?
Senator Alexander, I appreciate the question. Having spent several decades on the other side of the fence working on new therapies, I can appreciate people's concerns, but the primary reason is really that each individual medical product is different. The clinical trials that need to be done, even if they're similar, can have nuances that are critical. But still, we are committed at the FDA, and Dr. Woodcock, who you know well, I'm working very closely with her, and we're going to do everything we can to produce a more even template across the FDA so that the standards are the same. But I wouldn't want anyone to come away thinking you can take a cookie cutter and develop a drug or a device. You've got to treat each one differently.
Thank you, Dr. Califf. Senator Murray.